How's it going, troops? Jordan here, bringing you my first impressions video for the Destiny beta. Yes, the video is out a little bit later than what I expected and what I should have done. I should have done it a bit earlier, but better late than never, I guess you could say. So in the background, you'll be seeing some Crucible gameplay. It's actually probably, I think it's my best gameplay I ever recorded. I think I went 21 kills. I can't remember how many deaths, but I think I got a 1.3 KD at the end. With a nice throwing knife to finish off the match. So hopefully you enjoyed the nice background gameplay. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about my thoughts and, like I said, my first impressions of the Destiny beta. But first off, I got to say, overall, I wasn't expecting how great it would be. It was a fantastic experience to play with. I got to play with friends. In fact, I would never have played the Destiny beta if it wasn't for a good friend of mine. His name's Jace. I'll link his Twitter in the description. You can go thank him, for allowing me to have a code and allowing me to record this awesome gameplay for you guys. He's a good friend of mine, and I think you guys will love him if you go follow him on Twitter. Anyway, moving on into my thoughts, I've got a list down here of some things I wanted to pick out. First of all, we're going to start off with the first one, that's worlds. The worlds that you got to play in were quite amazing. You got to start off in old Russia. It was starting off in I think it was a prologue before you could actually go to the tower. So you had to start that off, and it just basically helped you out with the basics like aim down sights, crouch, jump, and and such like that. The basics that we already know in an FPS. But it was just nice to play anyway. It was I think it was it Sunset? I think it took place in. But either way, you had amazing worlds like old Russia. You had the moon, and there was also the moon mission, which opened up for a couple of hours. I actually got to play on that with some friends of mine, so it was pretty fun to play, and I definitely liked it. Shame it was only open for 2 hours though, because it kind of affected people in the UK. Luckily for me, I think it was on a weekend, so I kind of did I kind of played throughout the night a bit. Just to have some fun and to make sure I got to actually play the moon mission. If you got to play it, you'll get some kind of like badge at the end, or some kind of emblem when September the 9th comes around. So that sounds pretty cool. In terms of the graphics on next gen are absolutely amazing. Obviously with Xbox One, in case you didn't know, the Destiny beta I believe ran at, I think it was 900p. I think it was the Destiny beta ran. But the actual full game will launch full 1080p, so that's pretty nice. And also I think it was 1080p the beta was for PS4. I don't think it was on PC, and I'm not too sure if it was on PS3 or Xbox 360, but I do know it was on PS4 first, and then it came to Xbox One. So obviously, you're going to notice some tiny details. The resolution's going to, if you have a massive screen, you'll notice the resolution, but really the resolution, it looks basically the same. So you can't exactly really say so much about it. But yeah, the way that the game was designed, I think the game's designed absolutely amazing. Crucible, multiplayer when you play against other Guardians plays well, and yeah, so that's what I got for Worlds. Moving on to the next one being customization. I love the character customization in the game. That's the first thing that you get to do. You get to create your own character, and you get some nice options. I believe you're going to get some more options in the final game, but the options that you were given were pretty nice. You've got to have quite a few things. You've got to change who you were, whether you're male or female. You've got to choose whether you're a Titan, a Hunter, or a Warlock, so it was pretty nice. And also you can get some kind of like upgrades to your character's clothing, so you can have a bit more armor, a bit more defense power. To help you out in game and to fight against aliens, and I think they're aliens at least. I'm still kind of new to Destiny, so I wouldn't exactly count on me to be the best and know a lot about it. But yeah, customization is pretty decent in Destiny. I mean, I think it's an RPG. Well, I know it's it's meant to be an MMO FPS game, and it's got some RPG elements into it. But yeah, it's pretty nice. Number 3, the enemies. Now, a lot of the enemies can be quite easy depending on what level they are and depending on what level you are, because they can kind of they basically give different effects. If you're level 1 and the enemy are level 1, then it's pretty easy to take them out. However, if you're level 1 and the enemy's level 8, then you've really got no chance whatsoever. So it depends on what level they are and what level you are. One thing I want to improve on is making some of the captains easier to kill, because one thing I did notice when going in free roam and to kill off captains is that it took forever to kill them off, and it shouldn't have taken forever, and it gets to a point where the captains actually make it and they escape. So it's kind of like, okay, I've wasted, I don't know how many magazines worth, but I wasted so many, and it's it's done with. It's something that needs to be improved on for the final game, and hopefully I'm not the only one that's actually complained about this. Hopefully some other people have, and hopefully Bungie take notice of this improvement that can be made. Moving on to the fourth thing being upgrades. Upgrades are quite a number of upgrades, like double jumping, and also there's one where you can actually acquire a throwing knife, which you'll get to see in this gameplay, and also you see as the final kill I get. So yeah, the throwing knife is pretty nice. It's not like Call of Duty where it's one hit kill. If you actually just throw it at an enemy and they're not injured, then it won't kill them instantly. However, if you just shoot a couple of bullets and then toss it at them, and luckily it hits them, then it should take them out. But yeah, the upgrades are quite nice, and I think I got quite a few upgrades while playing the Destiny beta. I can't exactly remember. I think I got maybe about 12 or something more, but it all varieties. It varies. You can have, like I said, you can have double jumping, which was quite nice. I didn't unlock that straight away. I think it took, I don't know, but I think it took about at least 4 hours or so of game time before I actually got that. But either way, I got it, and it's very nice. Moving on with the Crucible. The Crucible is very fun and fast paced. If you don't know what the Crucible is, it's basically like Call of Duty public matches. It's basically playing online against other Guardians. It's just the way it's called, Crucible. But yeah, it's very fast paced and very fun to use, and I guess you could say it can be very skillful, depending on how good you are and depending on how good the enemy is. If you're good and the enemy's pretty bad, then you're obviously going to win. So it can be very, very skillful. One thing I want to improve on with the Crucible is improving the damage on weapons like the pikes and the interceptors, because to me they seemed pretty powerful. I think if you find the weapon, you basically got no chance against it, because you're just going to get killed. It's just so frustrating, and I complained about that quite a lot. You can ask some of my friends. I kind of complained about how OP I kind of said they were. But yeah, it's definitely frustrating getting killed by them. I think if they kind of reduced it a little bit, then I don't think I'll be so frustrated. But that's all I really got. Number 6, weapon balance. All the weapons in Destiny, or at least in the Destiny beta, seem pretty balanced. Some are better since they have a higher rating. They're kind of based on ratings, like it's kind of like with the upgrades to armor. Depending on how good your defense is, or in terms of the weapons, depending on how good they are. Some weapons I think have like 50 damage, some of them have like 28. Obviously the 50 damage is going to be a lot better. So it all depends on experience and how much you play. The more you play, the better the chance you'll get good weapons, and you can encrypt these pages, and then they can be turned into armor or to weapons. But it's very, very nice indeed. One thing I want to say is the shotgun needs to have some damage reducing to it. There's a shotgun, I forgot what it's called, but there's a shotgun in the game that absolutely pissed me off while playing online in the Crucible. I got so annoyed about it. I even used it once and I got quite a lot of kills with it. It's pretty good, and I think it should be a little bit reduced because it feels very cheeky just to get easy kills with it. Apart from that, the weapon balance is pretty decent, pretty good. Moving on to number 7, that being Strictly Come Destiny. If you don't know what I mean, you can actually do some dance moves, and they're pretty funny. Depending on what you are, whether you're Hunter, Titan, or Warlock, you can do different dance moves. But yes, dance moves you can do in Destiny. So basically, Strictly Come Destiny is a new show that's heading towards September the 9th. Anyway, moving on to number 8, exploring. You can explore the worlds. They kind of lead to some quite amazing places, although there are some places that you shouldn't really go to. I remember there's one place that me and my mate went to. I think it was my mate Jace. Went to this underground bit, and there was these. I forgot what it was. I think they were captains, but they were level 10 or 20 or something. They were a high level. And obviously, being Destiny level capped at 8, you're basically screwed. So there was no chance of fighting against them. So we kind of just left them to and let them just wander around in that little underground cave bit. One thing that kind of did annoy me was that we found a cave that kind of went on for a bit, and then at the end there was nothing there, so we've kind of wasted some time for nothing, and that kind of annoyed me because I thought surely there'd be some kind of glimmer or something like that towards the end, or maybe some weapons you get to upgrade. But it turned out no, it turned out there was nothing there, and we basically wasted our time, which was very annoying, I guess you could say. So, you know, apart from that, exploring the worlds is quite nice. You get to find some cool and neat places that you probably would have never knew if you didn't explore. Hopefully they can add more things to like exploring to make exploring a little bit more exciting, because I think the most people play the Crucible rather than actually, you know, exploring the worlds. So I think if they added some other cool places and other little things that made, you know, different worlds stand out a bit, then I think exploring wouldn't be so much of an issue, and I think a lot of people would actually do it. So that's all I can really say. Anyway, moving on to number 9, and I think this is the last thing I want to say, is actually to do with an issue that I had for Xbox One, and I don't know if it happened for PlayStation 4, but it was an issue that not only me experienced it, but David Veselka over at MP First, he's an editor, he experienced it. I think Denny Kovacs as well, he's another editor at MP First, he experienced it, and so did my mate Jace. Experienced it, and obviously, like I said, I think I said it, but yeah, I experienced it a lot, and it was very, very annoying. It was an issue to do with hearing members in your party. Now, basically, if you had members in your party chat on Xbox One, it got to a point where you couldn't actually hear anyone in the party chat unless you had the party chat snapped open. So it kind of was very annoying for me, because it meant that, because I've only got a 19-inch screen. You know, that's what I play on. It meant that my screen got even smaller, and it was very, very difficult to actually play and concentrate with having, you know, like this party act snapped at the side and just having like the screen get a bit more smaller. It was extremely annoying, and I hope. I mean, I wasn't the only one that actually said this, and Bungie actually recognised this issue, and I don't think they fixed it during the beta. Hopefully, they can fix it before the game actually ships out, because if they don't, then that's going to be a massive issue, and that's just going to put people off completely for playing it, especially if they're playing with friends. You know, there's just no point in that. So that's one thing that needs to be sorted out. Definitely needs sorted out. So overall, I would give the Destiny beta. This is the rating I'm going to give for the Destiny beta. I think it's pretty good. There are some things that need to be improved on or fixed or, you know, sorted out. But I think overall, this is my personal opinion. Overall, I would give the Destiny beta. Let's give it an 8.5 out of 10. One thing that does annoy me is that the game's going to be level capped at 20, and it turns out that the game is apparently isn't exactly open world as we previously thought on. So that makes me quite sad, and I'm actually not going to be getting it, which is kind of sad even more. So like this video if you cry every time for this issue. Anyway, I'm running out of time, I'm running out of footage, and the game's ended. So hopefully you enjoyed it in the background. If you did, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. And until the next video, thank you for watching, stay tuned with troops, and I'll see you in game.